Hey, Pastor Ron here. So, Christian nationalism, this is something that is popping up a lot, given it's close to being election season, and also the way our culture and society has become. This is a phenomenon in which people believe that Christians should influence culture, influence the rules and laws that we live in, and this country should be governed according to our Christian beliefs and principles. And I believe in us influencing the culture. I believe in Christians making sure that God is known throughout. I believe that it's our job as believers to make sure we make an impact and shock our culture. However, I'm afraid that this particular group and this particular phenomenon is one that is not consistent with our Christian beliefs. And it's another excuse for people to use God to justify their nonsense. Because Christian nationalists are loud when it comes to LGBTQ, are loud when it comes to trans and different type of movements such as those. However, they're silent on Black Lives Matter. They're silent when it comes to women's rights. What happened to justice for all? We can't cherry pick the platforms that we run on. We can't cherry pick what we believe in. And secondly, this country is not a theocracy. This is not a country where, we rule based on the Bible. Christians do live here, and we should influence the culture. We should influence what goes on, but we cannot run the country according to the Bible. That's not justice. It's imposing your will and belief on other people. And this country literally says in the Constitution, there shall be a separation between the state and the church. That's in the Constitution. Therefore, it has to be consistent with the law of the land. So I think this is an opportunity for people to run on platforms and to use certain to gaslight and to use certain terms in order to gain clout. Not saying that as Christians, we should not want the will of God to be done on earth as it is in heaven. But we also have to understand the world will always be the world. So we have to influence the world and not accept it, but make sure that our lives and the way that we live is one that brings people to God, not bring them to a particular political party, not bring them to a political group to get certain votes. So I feel Christian nationalism is an oxymoron. Because as believers, our culture and our identity is not tied to the U.S. It's not tied to the conservatives. It's not tied to Donald Trump. Our identity is tied to God. And Christian nationalists want to use this term in order for them to find a way to gain votes, not to bring justice, to gain popularity, not to bring the will of God down on this earth. So Christian nationalism is an oxymoron. And before you identify as such, make sure you agree to having justice for all, and check out their platform and tell me what you think. Thank you for your time. Tell me what you think. Let me see you in the comments. All that good stuff. I appreciate you. Don't forget to subscribe, like, all that good stuff.